go ahead and very clearly, Tom, tell the people where those files are located.
Okay, right now?
Yes.
Yes. They're in a new folder. Let me get the exact name, Bonds for Support.
That's the last folder you just put up there, Bonds for Support.
Yes, Bonds for Support, and it has 6 files in it. Basically your PDFs with doc versions of them too.
And the audio from Friday night, the 19th.
The audio from Friday night goes in the links section in the Yahoo group and in the calls directory on the backup.
Okay. And the people have to go into the links section in the folders.
When they go into the link section, the first entry in the link section is conference calls. And when they click on that, the various calls come up. And it's good when you go to the Yahoo group, on the menu on the top, go to look for the word actions, and you can then sort by date rather than sort by name, and that puts the most recent stuff first, which makes it very easy to access.
Okay. We might go over that later on in the call too, so that because I keep getting calls from people that they can't find these files. You also have it in the message folder when you post a message onto the group site in the messages, right?
Yes, and today, every 2 weeks, the welcome email gets sent out describing all of this exactly, and how to get in, how to get into the Skype groups, and if they need to convert their files to different formats, they can do that. If they want to modify a PDF and don't have the software, there's a pdfescape.com that they can go to and add text to any PDF. So there's a lot of helpful things in there. The welcome email gets sent out when they join, gets sent out every 2 weeks, as does the schedule for the calls gets sent out every 2 weeks. And the text for the welcome email is in the main file directory as welcome.txt, in case they want to at any time go in there and see the welcome email. The people's questions will be answered very, very quickly. You keep getting the same questions, and they're all answered in the welcome email. Okay, we've got some more people now, 6 altogether.
I'll give a few more minutes here. You guys can go ahead and talk a little back and forth there if you've got something to say.
Okay.
Questions or something. Go ahead.
You guys got any questions? Should I go over the questions I have, Patrick, and see what they say about them until you come in?
Whatever. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. There's 8 people on now. Yeah, my questions are...
Pardon? Have a great month.
Pardon?
Meeting now.
Okay. Yeah, the questions I have, and I think I know the answers to them, but that we modify the when we send in our set-offs, we can, if we have already sent in the status correction letter, we can modify it slightly to send it as a cover for the set-offs, and that we take that chief judge fax and modify it appropriately to go to the vicar general.
Yeah, and in some cases, just what you're going to have to do, okay, is sort of hold off on that. I'll go into this a little more in the call, okay?
Okay. And then if I go in, take them into the judges.
Just hold off until I go over what I need to go over on the call.
Oh, okay, great. We'll do that. Okay, thank you. So you guys have any questions you want to bring up?
Yeah, hi, Thomas and Patrick. Steve's on the line. I got on at about just a couple minutes after 5 our time.
Yeah, because you're in California.
Yeah, I think I'm number 6 online.
Something like that, yeah. Did you get on the call, Feline? I see your message that you were trying.
Yes, you are.
Okay, good.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing pretty good.
I was unable to get the 19th call. Couldn't download it for some reason. Couldn't even find it, actually.
You're talking about Friday's call, right?
Yes.
You know how to get the call.
Tell him where it's at. It's in the links section.
There's 2 ways you can go get it. One is to go to the Yahoo group and then go to the link section. And right on the top is the directory says conference call. Click that, and you will see the conference call. It's listed there. Let me see. Well, I'll have to mute the person in 618 because there's a lot of noise. You need to go up on that main horizontal menu to the word action, pull it down, sort by directory. That will keep sort by date. That will keep the most recent stuff on the top. That should give you the call. That's a link that when you click it, it takes you to the group site and the pre-conferencing site and a player. If you want the directory call itself, you have to go to econcurrent.com/divine, and there's a directory there called calls, and you go in there, and the calls are listed by date. They're the full call, and you can download them. So can you get online right now and see if you can find it? Was that you, 618, that I muted because you had a lot of background noise? Yes?
I've been downloading these calls for years, man. It ain't no new thing to download the call. It's easy and simple. Just like you just said, everything I did. The call is not there, man. The call is not there.
Let me look.
This is Steve Thomas. The last call that's posted on eConcurrent is December 10th. 14th,
That's right.
19th are missing.
I know I loaded it up there. If it's missing, I can load it up there again.
Okay.
Just let me look.
Because I sent you an email about that, and I still
I
haven't
didn't
seen
get
it. There, I'm on eConcurrent right now.
Okay.
Not there. The last posting is December 10th.
Close. You have to go down to the bottom because the eConcurrent is sorted in date order, and you're right, it's the 10th. So, and I know I put it up there, so I don't know what happened to it.
Well, probably people took it down.
No, they don't do that. Something happened, but I can fix that real quick.
Did you get the email I sent you?
No, I didn't get any email from you.
Okay. I think I posted it on Skype to you also.
I didn't see that either.
I mentioned it on Skype.
Tom, it is in the link section, but when you click on the link, it takes you straight to eConcurrent, and then eConcurrent asks you for all kind of other stuff just for you to even access
No,
it.
that's not eConcurrent. That's free conferencing, which is what we're on right now.
All right, I got you. Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the groups and go check out links that you mentioned.
I've never tried to listen to the call off the conference call. Maybe I should try that someday. It's loading up there now, and I didn't concurrent. Looks like it'll take about 2.5 minutes.
Did you not have a call on the 14th, last Sunday night?
No.
Okay, so no call last Sunday, the 14th.
Right, no call on Sunday.
Okay. So just the 19th. I found the 19th on the links conference calls. It's there, but I'll wait till you put it on eConcurrent, then I can have it in order with my other checkout calls.
Well, when it's loaded, I'll let you know, because I'm watching the progress bar here. It's 20% right now.
Okay, I'm going to mute out.
%30.
Is it okay for us to conversate on here, Tom?
Pardon?
So is it okay for us to conversate? Because, I got questions. I've been gone a long time. I just got out of jail, man, so I've been missing everything.
Okay. But you may not have heard that you have to go to the last folder, Bonds for Support, and there's basically 3 files there that you need. That's what we're working on. There's 3 files there, but some of them are in doc version and PDF version. The doc version is the one that you can use to modify.
Yes. I understand that part. That ain't what I had questions about. I had questions about creditors and bonds. I've been reading some stuff about that since I've been out, and
well, what would be the purpose of the bond?
What would be the purpose of me reading about creditors and bonds?
What do you think you're going to be doing with it? What questions would you be asking?
Okay, my question is that since they know that we can be either the creditor or the bonder, per se, I hate to use the word straw man, but I'm just gonna say that just so, just for whatever, but or prodigal son. I mean, if we already got the juice, why we got to beg them? Why can't we just authorize us to?
I'll go over that on the call.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll explain the reasons why we haven't been getting remedy out here the way we thought we should be getting.
Okay, we're at 80%.
Did something happen? Did somebody get muted?
No?
Okay, I just thought maybe there was an audio problem.
Tom's waiting to try and get that audio uploaded, and then basically we'll verify that it's there. You guys can try and download it and see, make sure you get it.
Right. 8 seconds to go.
Hey, Ray, listening to the show, and you were just on. I know what that address is that you're looking for. It's on 9th and Stewart. I think it's on the 3rd floor. I've been up at the bankruptcy court. Yeah. So, and then also, Kenny, I did the form today.
Can't really understand you.
And next time I call
You're revibrating. You're revibrating back to your speakers.
RO, we can't understand you. Do you have your speakers on? Because you're echoing all over the place. You need a headset.
If you're using a laptop, you've either got to put a headset in or you've got to mute out the speakers. Put something, a piece of tape or something over the speaker on the thing while you're speaking. Okay? Because you're revibrating back into the mic by way of the speakers.
Or just find your mic and put your thumb over it.
Yeah.
Okay, the call should be up there. Someone refresh their browser page and see if you see it now.
Okay, Steve and the other guy there trying to see if you can download it and see if you can get it.
Because it's on my browser page.
Yeah, I see the 19th, and I'm downloading it right now.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome.
How many you got on there now, Tom?
We got 13.
Okay.
That's a good number, 13. So.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start this call. You've
you.
already got it being recorded here. You've told the people where to find and gain access to the files and to the audios. We'll bring that up again later in the call before the call gets ended. So you can either wait until the very end and redo it at that point in time, Tom, and then we'll have it on there a couple times. Okay. Basically, what's going on out here is that people do not know what a marriage is, okay? And they don't know about the power of the Father and why people are going to prison because they are not fulfilling their fatherly responsibilities. There's 3 levels of lawful marriage in this country, just like there's 3 levels of sovereigns in this country. The first level is basically the natural marriage between the natural grandfather, the spirit, and the natural grandmother, the land. And that's by divine law to beget, and it's B-E-G-E-T, natural children. So that's the first marriage. The second marriage is the governmental marriage between the national government as the father and the state governments as the mothers by the granted constitutional laws. The third level of marriage is corporate marriage, and that is between a male corporation, the father, and a female or subservient subservient corporation, the mother. And this applies to your earthly father and mother. That's a corporate marriage. And that's by natural, private, corporate contract laws. Okay? So that's your three lawful marriages that are out here. The lawful father is the supreme law authority in all marriages. And no court has the power to gainsay, okay? Gainsay is G-A-I-N-S-A-Y, the father. And that gainsay means to contradict the father, even in admiralty. Parental, okay? P-A-T-E-R-N-A-L, belonging to or proceeding from the father. Parental power. That parental authority which a father has over his children. Okay? Whether you create a bastard child or whether you have a natural child. You have that parental authority or power over those children because you are the father. Now, a woman is going to be the mother. Now, when we go into admiralty, which basically we have been placed under with the 14th Amendment system, we have now three counterfeit marriages using the 14th Amendment persons. As the foreign bank adulterated admiralty debtors operating in admiralty jurisdiction laws, using liens and bonds for support over the bastardly counterfeit vessels / children. Bastardly with an LY on the end of bastard is a counterfeit. Bastard with a Y on it, let me see, I'll pull that up here. With a Y on it is the state of being a bastard.
Mm-hmm.
A man's illicit carnal connection with a woman causing the birth of an illegitimate child. That LY is basically a counterfeit. Now, basically that certificate of live birth is a bastardly, okay, with the Y, bond, okay, given by the father of the bastard to ensure his support and maintenance. So it is a bastard with a Y, bond for support. Now, that was given over, and that is being held. Now, in admiralty, the marriage level is the unnatural admiralty marriage between a natural male child as the natural father or wife for a female. Okay? The Admiralty Court purser as the stepmother or the stepfather for the natural, the stepmother in comparison to the natural father, and for a female, it would be the stepfather for the natural female. And this is performed by unnatural contracts and wills to beget the admiralty bastardly counterfeit debtor children. So, as a man, you are the father. You have fatherly authority in all court actions. Like I said, the lawful father is the supreme law authority in all marriages, and no court has the power to gainsay the father, even in admiralty. We have the admiralty governmental marriage, which is between the admiralty for profit bastardly counterfeit debtor national government as the father, and the admiralty for profit bastardly counterfeit debtor state governments, the mothers. And this is under by admiralty jurisdiction, which is nothing more, okay, admiralty jurisdiction. Where does it come from? It does not come from the Constitution or statutes. It is purely by judicial interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's the bar people that are out there. And then the third level is the admiralty corporate marriage between a male admiralty EIN for profit bastardly counterfeit debtor corporation, the father, and the female or subservient admiralty EIN for profit bastardly counterfeit debtor corporation, the mother. I'll post this write-up that I have up on the site. I'll post some of these definitions up there that I have. And basically go through the definitions in the dictionary about father. The only reason that most of these people are in jail, and they won't tell you this, is because of child support. You are not supporting your bastard. The father is not stepping forward to order the payment to the child or to set off the child's debt. Now, the state and the admiralty does not work at state level. It only works at federal court level. So what is going on at the state level? The state level is operating in insurance fraud. And I'm going to present you with 14 questions to ask the courts or judges when I get going here. I'll read them off. But the state courts do not have any admiralty jurisdiction, only the federal courts. So what is the jurisdiction of the state courts? Insurance fraud and insurance absconding insurance debtor. The courts are basically the pursers out here. A purser is basically in admiralty, an officer of a ship, particularly a ship carrying passengers, in charge of the accounts of the vessel and transactions with passengers. A ship's officer who represents the owners of the vessel as their physical agent. We are the owners of these vessels. So the court's judges, especially at the federal level in Admiralty, are the pursers, the judges. They're the physical agents. So basically, you don't go anywhere else, okay? It's the federal courts that you have to go to. The courthouse. And basically another term for the courthouse is a houseboat. A vessel within Admiralty jurisdiction. And basically what do you have? A courthouse. So it's a houseboat. It's now a vessel in Admiralty jurisdiction. And then the judges are the pursers of those vessels. Now, we have been trying to send a bunch of stuff out by certified mail, registered mail. Numerous different ways to try and get it into the court. There's only one valid way to get that into the court. And that is to basically have the sheriff serve it on the judge. You have to do a proper, lawful serving of that instrument. Because that's the only way you are going to get access to the astounding debtor, the judges. That's why the judges won't talk to us. Why they run out of the room. Because they're an astounding debtor. An astounding debtor is one who lives without the state or who has intentionally concealed himself from his creditors, with the creditors, or withdrawn himself from the reach of their suits with the intent to frustrate their just demands. Thus, if a person departs from his usual residency, like the judge runs off of that bench, that chair up there on the court bench, and runs out of the courtroom, he's an astounding debtor and remains absent therefrom, or conceals himself in his house, in the courthouse, in an office to where you can't access. A debtor who is shut up from his creditors in his own house is an astounding debtor, and that's what these judges are. They are the astounding debtor. That's why we have to turn around and have the sheriff process serve these things on them. Yeah, it says, if you go into Anderson's and read what it says, well, maybe it's not Anderson. Go into Black's dictionary, I think I pulled this one out of. But, or conceals himself so he cannot be served with process. You try and offer one of these certificates of live birth, and that judge will run out of the room because he don't want it in his hands. He doesn't want to be served. So you have to turn around and make these a lawful process serving using the sheriff's office to your local courts. I don't know whether the sheriffs can get into the federal buildings to serve it on the federal judges or not. But most of these start off at the state level, and then the state judges will have to process them up to the federal courts. Because, see, most of these marriage contracts are all in admiralty. And the real purser over these bastardly bonds for support are held in the purse by the federal court purser. They're not held anywhere else. This is all in admiralty. That's why we need to go to the federal courts for our district. You go any place else and you're going the wrong way. You're listening to a bunch of wrong people. The Treasury don't have this. These bonds are in admiralty. Now, I'll go through the questions that I have, and then you can sort of listen to this a couple times. 14 questions to ask the courts or judges. See, too many people go into court and they tell the court what. But the best thing to do is come in and establish the situation by asking questions. Just like you were told how to read the Bible as a little child, and a little child always asks questions. So, 14 questions to ask the courts or judges. A factual statement first. So you make this: I am a natural child by birth and a natural father of age. As soon as you turn 21, you are a natural father of age. First question: I am the family father in this court action. B, it's civil. Am I the family father in this court action, be it civil, criminal, or admiralty? Question mark. Next question. If I am the family father, then who is the family mother in my admiralty bastardly children? Question mark. Third question. Is a contract between two parties considered a contract of marriage? Yes, it is. Okay. The question mark. So you present this to the court. You just ask these questions to the court. See what the hell they come back with. Fourth question. Am I correct in saying that all contracts between me and the state are marriage contracts or family contracts? Question mark. Fifth question. If they are a marriage/family contract, am I then classified as the family father, and the state is classified as the family mother? Question mark. Sixth question. If the state is the family mother in the family marriage, then am I correct in the fact that this state court, as a family member, cannot gainsay, parentheses, contradict the orders of the family father? Gainsay is to contradict. And basically that is one grounds for divorce of a woman if she contradicts the father in the marriage. You can give her her walking papers and send her on her way. The father is the law in the family. But see, most people in this country don't know that. Question number 7. Does not all of my family property belong to the family father as a parental estate? Question mark. You can look up parental property, and it belongs to the father. Everything in that family belongs to the father. Question number 8. Are not all state marriage / family contracts also dastardly bonds for support under admiralty jurisdictional controls of the federal courts as the admiralty purser, an absconding debtor, holder of the family mother's purse? A female always has a purse. And then basically you have the purser, the holders, the federal courts, the overseers of the purses of the families. Question number 9. Is not admiralty a crime against the American naturals in that admiralty jurisdiction is not prescribed by the Constitution or statutes, but is only prescribed by judicial bar interpretations? Now, see, the courts are making up their own laws. Does not the family father have the parental power to order the family mother to open her purse and pay the bills by way of the admiralty federal court purser, absconding debtor? Number 11. Can the family father issue a divorce decree anytime if the family mother is guilty of additional adultery or gainsaying against the family father? You can go back into the Bible and check that one out. And that's where you just write down a piece of paper and just give her a divorce decree and say, here's your walking papers. Get out of here. Number 12. Is this court charge against the natural person child or one of my admiralty bastardly person's children? Question mark. Number 13. Is the family father obligated to support an admiralty bastardly child over the age of 21. And then 14. Finally, is it not true that the state courts do not have any admiralty jurisdiction, only the federal courts? So what is the jurisdiction of this state court? Insurance fraud, in parentheses, insurance fraud and state absconding insurance debtor, question mark? You can modify these questions, and then, or you can add to them, you can subtract from them. But see, we go into that court. We are the father, if you're a man. And I've said this all along, and basically it has worked in courts before, that if a woman walks into court and stands by the book of Ruth in the Bible, the state is the father then. The father is the one that is obligated to make the payment. Because in the book of the Ruth, a woman is under the protection of the father, her dead husband, or her living husband, the father of the family. So she is totally protected. And then see, the state father is holding the purse again. He has the money for a female. To set off the contracts. But it's what you have to do. You have to have these absconding debtors process served. And a certified mailing, a registered mailing, all of those really do not fulfill a process serving. That's why you have to get the lawful sheriff to come in and basically do the process serving, and you can start it out at your state court level. And then they would have to process that up the line to the federal district court, because all of these state courts and everything else are minion courts for that federal district court. So, hopefully that brings a little understanding to this process, that's why people are in jail, is because they are refusing as the father to order. And see, the father is insolvent. We have placed all of our parental assets in these bonds for support. We've handed them over to the mother, who placed them in her purse, and then under the control of the admiralty purser at the federal district court. And then these judges are all acting as absconding debtors, hiding within their own house. It's the reverse of what search and seizure warrant for search and seizure that they come after you with. They're claiming that you're the astounding debtor. That you have to come in as the father, that you are insolvent because they have taken everything away from you in the form of these bonds for support. And all you have to do is order the mother in the family to open up the purse. It's also close to the other word, but I'm not going to get into that one. Because that's another grounds for divorce. As long as the father stays in honor and basically puts the order in as the father and identifies himself as the father, you have jurisdictional control over all courts, because the courts cannot gainsay, contradict the father. And this goes all the way back to divine law. Let's see what now. Divine law, a law which has God, the Father, I put that in there, as its author, as distinguished from man-made laws. The definition is sometimes referred by recognizing two types, natural and positive or revealed law. And is what you're getting tonight is revealed law. A lot of it's natural law too, but basically it's being revealed to you. So now you can see where the book of Revelation comes in. The revealing. At the end times. Because people didn't know how to read the Bible. They didn't know the difference between the jurisdictions. They think that all state courts are admiralty courts. They're not. They can't operate in admiralty. So what jurisdiction are they operating in? Purely insurance jurisdiction. Either under insurance fraud or basically depriving you of your insurance payments, which is a mini form of admiralty, but it's not admiralty. So, basically, go ahead and open it up for questions now, Tom.
Okay. And Yasharon, I had to mute you out, and I think you're the 708 number. I can bring that back in. Well, I actually don't see you. But if your mic is still bad, you're in the Skype group. Go to the Skype group and type your questions in there, and I can ask them. Anybody else have questions? Pardon? Okay. Well, then this means that we can't go personally serve the judge by going into the court. We'll have to go in with the sheriff then. Well,
basically, if you have a court case, you can direct that bailiff And see, the bailiff would be the process server in the courtroom.
Okay.
But in most cases, that judge, as soon as he sees something like that, he's going to run out of the courtroom so that he can't be served with it. So you're still going to have to go to the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you come to him and
what?
I'm sorry, even if you come to him in the private, he's still gonna run away from it?
Yes.
Then why can't you just put in an affidavit then?
Basically, it's not going to work, okay? Affidavit ain't going to cut anything for you. You've got to get the bond, okay? Either that certificate of live birth, that driver's license, that certificate of title to the vehicle, the certificate of title to the property. They're all bastardly bonds for support. That's what you have to get into their hands and order them to make the set-off. And a woman, all she has to do is stand by the Book of Ruth, because she is the wife or the mother in the marriage, and the state is the father. Now the father is the one that's obligated to make the set-off. This is all about family, okay? But you got to figure out what family you're in. Okay, any other questions? Come on.
Yeah, where does this tie in with equity, Patrick? I mean, because the court we going to, that's not an equity court, no way.
No, it's basically either civil, okay, and the equity is being held in those bonds.
That's right.
That's where your equity's at. And see, you're only setting it off for your bastardly child. See, all these state laws and everything else are not against the natural person. But they will go after you as the natural person if you refuse, as the father, to order the set-off, to order the mother to open up her purse and pull out the funds. Because the mother is the depository. And I've gone over that before in the past too. The father always deposits into the mother. Even to get a little natural child. If the father don't deposit something there, you're not going to get a little natural child. So the father is the depositor, and the mother is the depositary. We're the depositor, the mother is the depository, O-R-Y, of our assets. And then they're held by the purser, who is the depositary, A-R-Y.
Now, does this apply just to criminal cases or to our general
This applies to all cases to where they have a charge that you have to make a payment from.
Okay.
Okay?
But is
Even mortgages, okay? The set-off. The mother is holding the damn assets. You have to get in her purse to pull the funds out.
Okay.
Property taxes, the same thing. They're being held under a bond for support under that certificate of title to the property.
So we can just set off whatever the payment is and then liquidate the rest of it all in one swoop then.
Yes. But you have to process, sir, those astounding debtors, the admiralty, pursers, the judges. That's why the judges won't talk to us, because they're astounding debtors.
Does this also apply to the when we're redeeming our bonds to either the judge or the vicar general?
Yes, you have to have the sheriff serve it on them.
Okay.
Do a process server. And you have to make sure that sheriff, deputy, or whatever gets their signature that they've delivered it. Just like when they come out to serve papers on you. You have to sign for them.
Right.
And then if they don't, then the sheriff's deputy or whatever under oath will make a statement that they hand-delivered that to them. So now you go into court and basically you've got the sheriff standing there on your side. Hey, I gave that to him. He's the one that's wrong, not this guy.
So we contact the county sheriff and see if he can get it up the line to either the vicar general or the chief judge.
You just go down there and basically they will serve it.
Okay.
You can have the sheriff's office serve any damn thing you want. I've done it in the past.
Good.
Now, if it's out of state or out of county or whatever, it's going to cost you a little more.
Okay.
Normally, they'll send you a bill 10 to 15 days later.
So if I want to serve it in that county, I can go to that where they are. I can serve it, take it to that sheriff.
However you want to do it, Tom. You think about it. Don't ask me. Okay, I told you how to do it.
Okay.
Go to the sheriff.
Hey, Patrick, this is Steve. I have a question. The words you're using, absconding or astounding, I couldn't hear over the phone whether it's an A-B-S-O-U-N or an A-S-T. I thought it would be
A-B-S-C-O-N-D-I-N-G.
Okay, absconding, right. I thought it would be that.
Absconding.
Right,
Yeah.
I thought that would be it. I just wanted to make sure. Absconding.
And you can look up both. Valentine's only has about 2 lines in it, but I think Black's has the better definition this time around in the process.
Okay.
I think that's where I got that one. It could have been Bouvier's too. I don't know.
Because you talked about that word and its definition on earlier calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good. I'll mute out. Somebody else can speak.
And then also the word you UXOR, a wife. And basically there's about 6 or 7 down through. There's one misspelling in there, UXUR, and it should have been UXOR. But and Valentine's in the U's, the very last page of the U's have these, and basically one of them is a wife and son are names of nature. Okay, that means they are the natural. So when you use the word son, you are referring to the natural person. When you use the word wife, you are referring to the natural person. But as the mother can have a connotation of either a fiction, a natural, or some other off-the-wall thing. Okay? One of the other ones is a wife has no power of her own, but is under the control of her husband. A wife has no power of her own, but is under the control of the husband, who cannot, in his lifetime, whom she cannot, in his lifetime, gainsay. She cannot contradict her husband. She has to stand by her man, whether he's right or wrong. Well, except 99% of the women in this country don't know that damn thing. And basically they're out there trying to wear the damn pants and trying to be in control. And basically they all should have been given their damn walking papers.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. Because this is all what the courts, and especially the Admiralty, the Bar Association, the bankers have done. They have come in and broken up the natural families with all their bullshit.
That's how they did it. That's how they took everything.
Yeah, they're the ones that have caused all the mass murders, basically all the drug addicts, 90% of all the alcoholism and everything else. Because it's all about money. Taking the good life away from the people and giving them a debtor's life. A life that they have to sit around and worry about. And worry brings on all sorts of illnesses. Alcoholism, drugism, you name it.
Right, yeah.
Physical breakdown of the body. Mental and physical both. Now, they had a game plan, and basically their game plan worked pretty damn good.
Ineffective.
The closer you look, the less you see.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. People have been looking too damn close, and they don't back up and look at the big picture to see what all led into the process. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, Patrick, I got another question. I got 50 questions. My question is that if let's just say, for example, if the sheriff don't do what his part is, can I go after the sheriff's bond and then make the federal court make him do it, make somebody else do it, or make somebody do it?
No, you go into the state court, you get the sheriff to serve that certificate of live birth, or if you got a military DD-214, whatever, or you take your certificate of title to the vehicle, the driver's license, whatever. See, those are at the state level, they are insurance policies. And I've told the state courts that before. But we have to get them into their hands, and you can only do that by process serving them by having the sheriff's office deliver them to them. Because they will refuse to take them.
Okay, Patrick, I'm glad you're saying that, because everything you're saying is what I've been going through here where I live at on a daily basis. They won't accept none of my documents, none of them. I ain't saying this new stuff that you've been doing. I ain't saying that at all, because it's new. But they ain't been accepting none of my stuff. They've been not even...
Yeah, you got to come in as the father. That's the problem. The word father is more powerful than a locomotive. It will tumble down the biggest skyscraper out there. Because it's God the Father. That's you. As the Father, you are the God. You are the supreme law in that court. They're just the mother. And basically, the mother cannot gainsay the father. And that applies to the courts, too. So they can't gainsay, they can't contradict you.
All right, Patrick, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to do it, because I must. I got to do
it. Okay.
Thank you.
Then listen to the audio several times and write some of those questions down. Okay? Present those to the court before you even go any further. You ask them. And basically, then, see, you're establishing the fact that you know, and you're presenting the questions to the court. And basically, all it takes is the court to acknowledge a couple of those questions, and you've got them by the you-know-what.
So we should send them the questions before we serve them, or should we serve them?
No, you can bring those right up in the court. But basically, if you're doing that, yeah, you can fax the damn questions to them if need be.
Okay. Especially, so I don't have a court case. All I'm wanting to do is redeem the bonds.
No. Well, you might go down there and get a damn court case.
Okay.
Go run a red light or two.
Okay.
So that's not questioning debt, is it? That's not going against the Article 1, Section 8, is it? When you bring something to the court.
These are admiralty courts. You're dealing with a whole different court system.
Yeah, that's right. They're corporate courts.
Yeah. See, they're a corporate. They're an admiralty. They're on the water, and basically they're in their damn houseboat, and they're going to hide from you. See, they're writing up their own damn laws and rules and regulations. That's what always got me about all these different courts. You can go into the U.S. courts, and every one of the different levels of courts, the Court of Appeals, the Court of Claims, the federal courts, the bankruptcy court, What do they have? They all have their own damn rules.
Local rules.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So they're writing their own damn laws up. They're not constitutional or statutory. They're bullshit. They're a complete crime against nature, against the natural persons, we the people. That's the crime that they're committing. It's the fraud. But see, once you process serve these and have them go in, then basically you've got them under that these have to, so those items, those bearer bonds or those bonds of support, whether it's the DD-214 bearer bond or the redeemable bond that was on the certificate of live birth, then we have to get those process served. We have to get the acknowledgement so basically we can go into a lawful court and basically if they do not comply, then we can bring charges against them. And see, once they get process served, they will be taken care of. But until they're process served, they're not going to do a damn thing with it. Because you haven't got control over them. Follow me?
Yes.
Well, you don't have to follow me, but basically go out and prove me wrong.
So then the next logical step after that would be the Article 3 judge then.
You're not going to need to go any further. I guarantee it. You get that process served on that judge, and he will take care of it right then and there. Because he knows that basically if he don't take care of it, he's going to jail. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's just that we haven't process served them properly.
How did you get onto this, Patrick?
Going through the dictionary and sitting there thinking about why all these people are in jail. After the call Friday night, I woke up at midnight and I said, shit, I know why all these people are in jail. It's because we're the father, and the father has the obligation to settle the bill or order the thing to be settled from the bonds. And the state is the mother, the stepmother, the evil bitch. Just like in the movie Wizard of Oz. The witches were the evil stepmother. Alice in Wonderland. What the hell is the other one? Not Alice in Wonderland, but Snow White.
Yeah, and Cinderella.
Yeah, Cinderella. Basically, how many of these stories have had the evil bitch witch? Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Shirley Temple movies. Basically, the evil mistress that was over the orphanage.
Mother Dearest.
No, I mean, there's numerous movies out here, all leading to the same factor. And then you also have the comparable side of the evil stepfather. He's a drunk half the time, whatever. And see, that's what a woman's facing, is that basically they are the mother in the marriage contract, and they're dealing with an evil stepfather, the state. And like I said, their protection is by the Book of Ruth. And I've said that for I don't know how many times, but yet the women out here, basically, none of them have used that.
Yeah, this makes us the Red Bull. It gives us wings.
Huh?
It gives us wings, man. This kind of information. It's like a Red Bull. It gives you wings. Remember their commercials?
But if you don't act upon this, you're not going to get shit.
Yeah.
And see, this is also establishing your status of being a sovereignty of the sovereign land of America.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one key thing that you need to get established, is that you are a sovereignty of the land. You're not a sovereignty of the government. You're not a sovereignty of a corporation. You are a natural sovereignty of the land. Because that's where you came from, and that's where you're going back to. You didn't come from the government, and you're not going back to the government. You didn't come from a corporation, and you're not going back to a corporation. I don't think anybody's ever been buried back into their corporate mother. She got you out of the oven, and basically you're not going to go back into that oven.
Pauline had a question. She's the one with the problem with her mic. Are women standing on the Book of Ruth in our paperwork? As in, do we change the wording in our collection of status for women?
Yes, they need to address this, that they're going in as the mother in the marriage contract, with the state being the father. And the father is the one now to obligate the payment or the release of the mother's dowry.
Oh.
Okay?
So the father still has the authority, but the roles are switched in that case.
Yes. The state is the father in a female situation. That's why the mother comes in and stands by the Book of Ruth, because she's standing by the protections of the father, her father in the family, or her husband in the family, or her dead husband in the family. And see, the state has stepped in to be the stepfather in this marriage.
So Patrick, since they already have all our documents anyway, that sounds like you could just send them photocopies of everything instead of the original.
No, you send an original, and basically you do, and I'll try and get a template updated that is pretty close to what the templates that I had Tom post up there in the file section, there in the latest file section. Okay? And you put that template or You print that out and attach it as an allonge to the document, and then you have it process served on the court. Your baptismal certificate, you would have it process served on the vicar general or your diocese. Might as well use these sheriff and sheriff deputies for something that basically is real lawful. Get them out there doing something besides writing down admiralty traffic tickets or insurance traffic tickets.
I talked to the lady at the Recorder of Deeds last week in D.C. About using full faith and credit to get some deeds recorded, in their state. And she was like, "You can't do that. That's right. You can't be exempt.
Wrong jurisdiction. It's all in the federal courts. Okay? So everything that basically we were talking about, the Recorder of Deeds and all that, forget it. Okay?
Okay.
Listen to the audio from the other night. I tried to explain some of this stuff. That basically, it's all in these federal district courts. That damn courthouse has all our damn documentation. They have the computers for all our accounts. They're the purser for the district. On this vessel, on this houseboat, whatever. Okay?
Yeah. See, that's what I was talking about by not sending them the originals, Patrick, if they got it all anyway.
Huh?
I mean, that's what I was talking about by sending them, by not sending them our originals. If they got all our
No, they
documentation
don't
anyway,
have the original, okay? They only have your account numbers.
Okay, so who has the original?
They need to have a certified copy of that certificate of live birth. That certified copy of the DD-214. That certificate copy, certified copy of your marriage license. Whatever. They have to have a certified copy going in as the process serving document. Understand?
Yes, I understand completely, Patrick.
Okay.
I got it.
That's why we haven't heard anything out of these damn judges, because they haven't been served properly. I just sent it up by regular mail. I've sent stuff into them by certified mail before. None of these guys recognize any of that because they do not have the lawful authority behind them. They don't have a law officer saying that he made the delivery to them. And a post office certified mailing or registered mailing is not a law officer. But a sheriff's deputy is.
Patrick?
Yes.
To confirm what you're saying about the sheriff, I remember studying that under a constitutional government, the people are the government, and the closest and strongest, most powerful law enforcement agency that there is the sheriff.
That's right.
Everything else that gets farther away from we the people gets weaker and weaker and weaker until you get to the federal government, which is the weakest.
Yeah, especially now, being that they're under Admiralty bar jurisdiction.
Yes.
Which is a counterfeit judicial system.
Right.
I still got a question.
I dropped off the call for a few minutes. My computer hung up. I got back on, but the recording is still going fine.
You say the recording's still going?
Yeah, the recording was fine. I got the computer hung up, but that doesn't hang up the recording.
Okay.
The recording's up on the website. So Pauline added to her question. So after this father, the state, will we have all our rights over the certificate of live birth estate? And how does she gain her estate in her own hands?
She gets this sent into her local court. It's a state document, isn't it?
Yes.
You serve that on the state court. And the state courts are all under the jurisdiction of the Federal Admiralty District Court.
Okay.
That Federal Admiralty District Court has jurisdictional control over all these state courts. They can overrule anything that the state courts do.
So they function more or less like an appeal court then, to prove it to the feds. So the federal courts act like an appeal court in case the state acts up.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the appellate, and basically like what I had on some of my documents there, I think before, is we're the appellant, and basically the appellee is our fictional person.
Right. Okay.
That we need to come in as the natural father. The father is the big word in this whole damn deal.
Right. And she also asked,
okay?
She also asked the question, how does she get a divorce and freedom from the father of the state?
How does she what?
Get a divorce and freedom from the father of the state.
Tell her to think about it, okay? Listen to this call a little longer, and basically she might get some understanding about this, okay?
Okay.
Read the book of Ruth, okay? Go in and understand what it's really saying. And basically, if the father is out there committing adultery, basically, you can get rid of the father. And he's just a stepfather, so you can kick him out of the damn house. But when you go in and basically order, like I have there, full redeeming value, because you don't have to support any more bastard children, because they're all over the age of 21. That's one of the questions I had. Do I have to continue supporting a bastard child that's over the age of 21? Okay?
Yep. Oh, she asked, are we still sending in our deed poll electing the Constitution so that they see we're standing on that?
No, listen to the call, okay?
Right,
I told you what you need to do, okay?
Yeah, you said no on the last call, right. Last two calls. Okay, thank you, Patrick.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Already had your ice cream?
I'm just looking forward to listening to the search.
Okay, well, I'll drop off here, and you guys go ahead and have your discussion.
Okay, and I'll go over the where everything is again.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the same questions keep coming up. Where do I find the files? What are we working on? And what time are the calls? And
go over all of that, and basically I'll talk to you later, Tom. You guys take care.
Okay.
Bye.
And all of this is in the welcome email. The welcome email you get when you join the group. It gets sent out every 2 weeks. It was sent out again today. And the call schedule. The call schedule and the welcome email was sent out today. And it contains all this information about where the backup is and how to process the files on the Yahoo group. The easiest thing about the Yahoo group is that if you go into the horizontal menu, when you go into the file section of the Yahoo group, there's a horizontal menu there, and one of the boxes says Action. And if you pull down that box, tell it to sort by date. It will then sort in reverse date order, and that means it will have the earliest directories first, the latest directories first, and the latest links first. So if you go into the file section, sort by date, then the current directory will be on top. You go into that file and go into that directory and sort by date, and the latest files will be there. If you go into the link section, the first link is the conference calls, and if you go into there and sort by date, the conference calls will be in reverse date order. The email will tell you to go to econcurrent.com/divine to find the files and the calls, complete backup of all the files and the calls. So any questions about that? I guess not. Then I'll turn off the recording and turn off the call so I can get it up there. And I'll double check this time to make sure the same mistake didn't happen. Thank you all. Good night.